Holly xin kính chào quý khán thính giả của hệ thống truyền thông Cali Today. Và để trở lại chương trình của từ Silicon Valley đến Hoa Thịnh Đốn, vị khách mời trong chương trình ngày hôm nay là ông thị trưởng của Milpitas, ông Jose. Nice to have you here with us today.
I'm very happy to be here, to be able to have this opportunity to be able to talk about great things in the city of Milpitas.
Wonderful. I know that you are very busy and taking the time to fight with the traffic to be here. First, would you share with us, tell us about you, yourself, and about your achievement for all the years you served as city council, as mayor of the city of Milpitas?
Okay, good. I would love to do that.
Great.
Hello, xin chào tất cả quý vị. Tôi là Jose Esteves, thị trưởng của thành phố Milpitas. I'm serving now for a total of almost 16 years in the city of Milpitas, 4 years as city council, and this is my 6th term as mayor of the city of Milpitas. And I'm very proud to say that during all this past 12 years, major positive changes happen in the city of Milpitas. And of course, I'm proud and honored to say that they are all under my leadership as mayor. For example, under city government, when I started being a mayor, we built the big new library, state-of-the-art library, so that it would accommodate projected students for the next at least 20 years. We love our seniors, so we also converted the old library to a big senior center, because after all, especially we Asians, we always owe credit to our seniors because they made what we have today. So we have that as well. Many developments in the city, like the sports center, and now we're building more parks, more playground, more soccer field, new one, cricket field, international park, and many more, and that's for the city portion. On the business sector, we have now the transit area specific plan where we are building up to 7,000 homes. I think more than 3,000 homes are now in the pipeline. And this is around the new BART station that will be up and running next year. So we have a transit-oriented kind of development in that area. Also, we will be having the Pacific Mall or Asia Mall at McCarthy Ranch, which would invite many not only Asians, but regional market, because they would have something that would be different from the great mall that we already have. We'll be having more hotels because it's in demand, especially that the 49ers Stadium is very close to Milpitas. And many more restaurants, car dealership, and that's why the city is basically converted to a prime city. But at the same time, we always make sure that we have a good financial rating, AAA. And in fact, the bottom line is we got many awards. For example, we're 29th in the whole United States of America as best place to live. In California, we're 11th as best place to raise family. Raising family is very important because you're talking about crime rate, you're talking about neighborhood, parks, and city services. And at the same time, maybe we're the fastest growing city in the whole California. So those things show that we have performed very well as a city in spite of the fact that the economy is always uncertain and challenges in the whole environment always exist.
Talking about the Pacific Mall, will that affect the traffic congestions in Milpitas?
Well, not really, because Pacific Mall or would be basically a shopping center, and most shopping activity occur after office hours, after peak hours, or over the weekend. So hopefully, while people are going home, they're gonna go to the mall, and when they're done, it's already past the peak hour. So that's the plan. Of course, there will be some traffic during the daytime, but not as much. But since it's still a growth in Milpitas, we are working with VTA and Caltrans so that uh, traffic will be alleviated in the main thoroughfare. For example, 237, we are advocating that a new lane should be added. Number one, the express lane should not be as close to Milpitas at this point because really it obstructs some traffic. And at the same time, many more improvements like widening of Montague because we're building homes along Montague.
Yes.
So we're working with the county to widen Montague Expressway and many more. And remember, for every development, we have what we call a traffic impact fee, and that would help solve the negative impact of each development in the city.
Thank you. You mentioned that we pay respect and we thank the seniors who gave us, or at least the starting of our lives now. You built the new senior center.
Yes.
And that's a wonderful thing. It's great. I've been there. What do you do to that old senior center?
Oh, actually, the old senior center was the Krakolisi building, so it's being rented now as a whole for recreational purposes and for public use. And then the senior center before that is now the new library. Remember, we restored the grammar school and built around it and built 60,000 square feet of a building for library use. So every building that's not that were formerly used is being allocated for another use. At least it always goes back for public use.
Right. And talking about 7,000 homes coming in to Milpitas,
Yes.
do we have enough space to have the kids enter school, to go to school?
Yes, good question. When we develop or when we have a plan, school is always a component. Even school district is a separate jurisdiction from the city. So in that area, if you remember, the city took the courage and vision to buy almost 12 acres of land along McCandless Street. And part of that, we shared it with the school district to build a new school in that area. While part of it, of course, would be for a park, open space park, because it always helps in enhancing or increasing the quality of life of the residents in that area. So
Yes.
that's a good question because if you miss the school, then it's a problem.
Yes. But with the project, when do you think that there's another school added to the city of Milpitas?
That would be the new school that would be added in that area in Milpitas.
Do you know
When?
when?
They are now on the design stage. They're supposed to open in 2019, if I got it right. So there's a plan in place, and hand in hand with that is also the park. And many facilities would be joint use by the city and the school.
I see. Okay. Well, we see the city of San Jose, Mountain View, Palo Alto, Santa Clara. They all have convention centers. They have attraction points that attracts visitors and tourists. We don't in Milpitas have a downtown or a convention center. Do you have any plans on having a downtown for Milpitas?
Yes, yes, because we have an overall plan for a city to make sure that we complete the amenities. Now, on your specific question on downtown, we have the main street as being developed as we call it midtown specific plan, and that would be a mixed use pedestrian oriented kind of development, and it's being started now. In fact, on Sarah there will be a big development there of homes on the upper floors and commercial or retail on the lower floor. So that's at the entry of the downtown, and hopefully all the others will follow. Now, in terms of the conference center, or we as a city also we had the vision of this conference center, so we were able to buy more than 3 acres or almost 4 acres of land on Tasman and 880.
That's
Now that land is now for sale for development of hotel, plus hopefully a big conference center or a big hall for public use. So that's the plan there. So when that will be realized, then it's another attraction for the city to invite regional or even visitors from other areas.
Yes, that would be great. As the mayor of a small city that sits in the heart of Silicon Valley, what do you see as challenges or opportunities?
Okay, yes. We're not really a small city. We're above average kind of city. Our population is 70,000 plus, but during the day it almost doubles because people go to Milpitas to work. The ratio of job to people is 1.9, so it almost doubles.
Wow.
Okay, but you are right. We are between two bigger cities, San Jose and Fremont. That's why a small city is very challenging for us because we have to compete, especially in attracting businesses and in keeping businesses in our city. So what we do is we have a long list of incentives that are offered to businesses. But the better part is we have projected the city to be a business-friendly city. So when you are a business and you come to the city of Milpitas, we treat you like a VIP. You are an important person, and rightfully so, because you bring jobs, you
Yes.
bring revenue, and you bring economic development. So we take special effort to really serve businesses in terms especially of a streamlined permitting system, in crossing the schedule if needed by the project. We support that because we believe that the earlier a project opens, the better for the city, and many more. So we work with the project on their plan to make sure that we become like a partner so that they will be successful and the city will be successful as well. So what I'm saying is on the overall, even where government, we try to compete with all the other locations because nowadays businesses, for example, have many choices on where to go.
Absolutely.
Now you have to offer and make yourselves available so that they will at least consider your city, and that would be a plus for the city if they do.
Great.
Okay?
I know that you are going to be termed out by November of 2016. Do you have any plans on running for politics? And if you do, at what capacity?
Yes. Right now, not yet. What we're doing right now is looking at the campaign financial ordinance that we have so that we make sure that voting in Milpitas would be fair and equitable. In other words, every candidate should have a good opportunity and it's not skewed by any big money or special interest group or something like that. That's number one. We are reviewing the number of seats in the city council because we might increase it from 5 to 7 because there are pros and cons. We might even review the term limit because right now the term of the mayor is one term is only 2 years, and it's not very adequate. All, if not most, of the cities around us have 2 terms, 4 year, 1 term. I think that's ideal. So we are reviewing that as well. If that happens, then I may be able to run again as mayor. Or if it's not, then we'll try to work on that because it's really good for the city as a whole.
I see.
In other areas, it depends on the who are running, uh, who is the incumbent, and at the same time the issues in that district or area. So it's still a game of timing and opportunity. But for the meantime, I continue to perform well and best because my first intention really is to provide an excellent or excellent services to residents or to the constituents of our city of Milpitas.
Why do you see there's a need to increase from 5 city council members to 7? Is that because the
Yeah.
city is growing so
There are
big
pros and
fast?
cons. One advantage is so that there will be more people making decisions for the city. It's not only 5. In fact, if it's only 5, 3 can make a decision right away. If it's 7, it's more. Okay. The second one is it could be harder for a special interest group to buy elected officials because there will be more. So it could be harder that way. And the next one also, if we have more, hopefully all areas or in the city of Milpitas will get represented because hopefully it will be scattered everywhere along the city. So there will be more servants. I call elected officials as public servants. There will be more public servants serving our city. Of course, the disadvantage could be, there could be more people working with staff, and it could create some conflict or more time. There could be more controversies in terms of issues, but as long as there's a good discussion, then it should be good. In terms of fiscal impact, it's not much because, as you know or you may not know, that we are not paid like full-time salaries. We are paid only almost like a token. So fiscally, it's not of much impact.
Right.
Okay.
The mayor's term is 2 years. What about the city council?
City council is 4 years.
4 years.
That's why I said, that should be changed to 4 years.
4 years. And the
Okay.
maximum they can serve is 2 terms?
My suggestion, the good one, just like many other cities, is 2 terms, which is a total of 8 years. For 8 years, a person or an official should have already achieved the most that he can do for a place, for a city like Milpitas.
Yes. Thank you, Mayor. Now, with a few words, would you please share with us what have you done that you've earned so much love and all the hearts of the Vietnamese American
Yeah.
people?
Yes. Oh, okay. That's a very good question. Actually, in the Philippines, I originated from the Philippines, and when I was a college student, I volunteered in a Vietnamese refugee camp in the Philippines. So that's why I'm already familiar with the Vietnamese family and community. That's why I have not only a good brain but a good heart for Vietnamese people, because I've learned to eat with them, sit with them when I was still young. I didn't expect to even come to the United States, and here I meet again the Vietnamese American community. So one of the things that I'm very honored and proud to say is that with my leadership, the city of Milpitas is first in the Northern California to respect the yellow flag with 3 red stripes, and rightfully so, because that flag represents heroism, patriotism, freedom, and democracy, and the continuous fight of of the Vietnamese people, especially those who are here, for human rights and justice. That's why I said, as a city, we should support that, especially that we have also a good percentage of Vietnamese Americans in Milpitas. That's number one. And then the second part also is having a resolution regarding Vietnamese communist visit to our city. That if that happens, there should be a good announcement, a good information to the Vietnamese community. So it's not something that just happens without our communities knowing about it. And rightfully so, because especially the Vietnamese Americans here in America should be aware of our relationship with Vietnamese, the communist Vietnamese.
Yes.
And at the same time, their input, input should always be considered and be respected. And that's why I said it's important. And then lately, we are planning to have an international part. And of course, this is for different nationalities, but definitely one portion is for Vietnamese Americans.
Yay.
And for two main reasons. One is, I'm sure the Vietnamese Americans are very proud of their culture, their history, and their heritage. So that's a place for them to demonstrate or display. And then at the same time, it's also for the city's gesture of gratitude to the Vietnamese American community for their many contributions in our city. I'm grateful for their presence, for their many valuable contributions in many areas in our city. So it's a gesture of gratitude, saying to them, we thank you and we look forward that for the community's continued participation and for continuity of being a part of the city of Milpitas.
It's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for all that you do to the Vietnamese American community, to us. And thank you for being here with us today and share with us your achievements and the vision of having a better place for the families and to raise kids and a place to live in all. And that's the city of Milpitas. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you too. Thanks to all of you for listening. And again, I want to reiterate our pride and honor in having Vietnamese Americans, especially in the city of Milpitas. I thank all of you for your really great heart, great brain, and for being great citizens. Thank you. Xin cảm ơn tất cả quý vị. Thank you.
Your Vietnamese is getting much better too. Hồng Linh xin cảm ơn quý vị đã theo dõi chương trình.